Hi there, welcome to another video here at Prof. Paul B. Today we're going to be looking at the functional requirements for assignment 3 in my Java 3 class. The application is a relatively simple application, library database, where we have books and reviews of books. And we do have, we're using H2 database. We're also using security. So there's a little bit going on the back end, but we see that the actual application per se is relatively simple. And of course, my pages are all programmer pages, developer pages. I'm more of a back end person. That's my forte. But this is a back end course as well, so it kind of works out well. So let's go ahead and take a look. Here we have the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. We click on View. We see that here's a review of it. It's an older book, but still a good read for principle-centered leadership. I read it quite a few times, and I enjoyed it a lot. I actually gave it to a few people that I thought it might help as well. So let's go ahead and if we want to leave a review, so notice we're not logged in, we can actually view the review, but if we want to leave a review, we have to log in. I pre-populated, actually no, I didn't pre-populate. You could actually create your own users, but I used my favorite bugs and Bunny, Bunny, and let's go ahead and log in. It does bring me back to the index, and if you want to make it a little bit better, you could actually bring it back directly to where you can actually enter the review. And notice now I do have this link, add a review. So let's go ahead and add a review, and I'm just going to say, oh, I liked it too, and especially the part about circle of influence. So it might not mean anything to you if you haven't read it. Circle of influence. There we go. So let's go ahead and add that review. And now we see that review is there. So let's go ahead and log out and go back to the index. And now notice if I go back, we see that that's been persisted into our H2 database. We'll take a look at the structure in a little bit. So let's go back and go back to the index, and let's log in. And now I'm going to log in as an admin user, and I set up Daffy. You guys can set up whoever you want. And let's go ahead, Daffy Duck. And of course, you see I'm not using the asterisk for the password field. By all means, you should be doing this in a production environment. Let's go ahead and log in. And now we see, notice we have this additional link down here on the index page where we can actually add a book. So let's go ahead and add a book. And the book that I'm reading now is 1984 by George Orwell. I read it a long time ago, and I just thought it would be good to read it again. So let's go ahead and add that book. And now notice we come back to the library database page with our new book there. And now if we click on view, we see, there's no reviews yet, and you can be the first to review it. So let's go ahead and add a review. And my review is going to be it is very scary how things are becoming. And I think I might have a typo. Yeah, there's not 2 M's in becoming. There we go. Let's go ahead. And it's just a whatever review, right? So there we have our first review. And if we go back to the index, we go to our, obviously we saw a review there. So now what I want to show you is, well, now you see you are now logged out. We also have a register. If you're not registered, you can register here. In class, the example that we did was a manager that was actually creating users. But here, it's a user themselves that can register. So let's go ahead to the register page. And here we're going to register good old Road Runner. And here in production, you would have a verified password, and you'd probably want to have some JavaScript on the client side just to verify that the passwords are the same, and before you send it off to the server. But again, this is a back-end course, and we're concentrating on, if you want to add that, absolutely add that. I know some of you just enjoy this very much, and that's fantastic. So let's go ahead and register now. And now it says, thanks for registering, but it hasn't logged Roadrunner on automatically. So let's go ahead and log Roadrunner on. uh, Roadrunner in, I should say. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in. And now what we can actually do is we can actually, now that he's logged in, all users, when they register, they're automatically given a user role. They do not have, obviously they don't have the admin role, but they're automatically given the user role. Notice when I was logging in, when I was registering, I did not have the option of selecting the roles. So let's go ahead and just add a review. And I read this one as well at the beginning of my career, and it is a scary read. Yes, a scary read for sure. Okay. So let's go ahead and add that review. And it was actually banned by the Pope in 1559. And I even heard some consider it the handbook for evil, and some even considered him the devil. Anyway, this is all, it's interesting. It's political. It's about politics in the early 1500s. And so let's go ahead and go back here. I do want to show you something. Is I'm going to log out and I'm going to register again. And I'm actually going to try to register as let's say Roadrunner, ROAD, and password doesn't matter what the password is. And of course, password Gomorrah. There we go. So of course, in a production environment, you would have this as asterisks, and you would have a check password or verify password. Let's go ahead and register. And now we see that the username is already in use. So you cannot specify, you can't register the same user you can't register with the same username is basically what I'm trying to say. So usernames have to be unique, which kind of makes sense. So now let's go back to the index. And was there anything else that I wanted to show you? I think that's the gist of it. So let's log in again as our admin. As our Daffy. I do want to take a look at the H2 database in a sec. And duck. And we log in. And we can actually view reviews. We can add reviews. We can log out here and go back to the index. Okay, let's take a look at the H2 console. And we see here the tables that we have. We have the authorities table, and this is generated by the security system in Spring. Here's our authorities. So we have our users. Bugs is a user. Daffy is both admin and user, and Roadrunner is simply a user. And let's clear that. Let's take a look at our authorities. So now we see that the passwords are hashed and encrypted using the bcrypt password encoder. And we also so these are the tables for the authentication and authorization, but we also have our own tables in the same database. So here oops, sorry, my bad. I meant to click on books. So let's go ahead and take a look at books. So notice now we have the 3 books that we have that are in our database: 7 Habits, Prince, and 1984. And we also have our reviews. If we take a look, so here is our reviews, and it might be a little bit different than the example before, but I did change things, and it did not feel like we're recording the whole thing. So so here we see we have an ID, a book ID, and then the text. So this is how we tie the review to the actual book. Okay, so I can actually show you the schema. Let me just bring this over here. So notice here's the schema. I will supply this. So you have a table books, a table reviews, and we're creating a foreign key relationship on the reviews with the book ID. And here we're just inserting a couple of books, okay, and reviews. And I do also want to show you, this is the project structure. So I have a couple beans. I have book and review bean. I have my controller, database access class. I have my security config, login access, a deny. Oh, let's go. We did not check that actually. Let's just go verify that that is working correctly. So I'm going to log on as Bugs Bunny, and I'm going to log in. So let's go ahead and try to add a book as if Bugs Bunny were an admin. And the URL I put for that is add page, I think, PAGE. And notice we have our permission denied. You do not have access to this area. Okay. And now if we just go back to the index, Bugs is still logged on, can still do his reviews and whatnot, but that's it. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gives you an idea of what I'm expecting in terms of functionality. Stay tuned. I will be posting the written requirements very soon. Okay, well, actually, by the time you look at this video, it's probably going to be up. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.